Hello, Namaskar, good afternoon. I'm Grhis. I'm up at Diamond right now with the podologist, the foot doctor. I'm today it's the 23rd of January 2025, the new year, and we will be entering into a new era, a new phase with this new year here. Now this afternoon, which is Thursday, it's around 3 o'clock now, 3 p.m. I'm going to talk a little bit more, expounding a little bit more about my one of my videos which I spoke about monks, nuns, and the grihastas. Now the grihasta means family people who are married, they have children, they are living in a home, their homes, the house, and what they usually do for spiritual people. They would keep their place clean, they would burn incense, they would have a room in which they can do meditation or puja. If you don't have a room, they have a closet where they can open the closet with their pictures and so on. Some people have an altar on the wall. That's a custom there. So householders have many customs how they can prevent bad luck, misfortune, how the stars can align properly for them astrologically. And they try to do this with consultation with experts, people, sometimes they call themselves doctor astrologists. You know the famous Cheerio studied in India. He learned all of these astrology and so on. Then he became so famous, look all the knowledge. He was one of the best students there. Narayan Srimali, another famous astrologer. They were hailed and acclaimed by the Astrological Society there in India. So what happened is that the householder, he has a dual duty to himself, his small family, and to the biggest society, the world. The world is his family, and apart from that, the monks and the householder share an interdependence. The monk depends on the householder for his sustenance, for his food, for support, and the householder in turn, the monk in turn provides spiritual solace, knowledge, and wisdom. And like I said earlier, most of the great householder saints that came out, they took initiation from this lineage, a spiritual lineage governed by a monk or a guru. They are devotees of an ashram or a monastery, a temple, a mat, and then they get initiation and diksha. They are taught how to be teachers of yoga, teachers of meditation. They initiate and teach other people. Some of them go very far, advanced stage, and they got authority direct from God to teach yoga. And so like CVV Yogi and his electronic yoga. Sawan Singh, I think the origin of Sawan Singh was from Jaimal Singh, who got initiated from a sadhu, a monk. So these monks, they would usually come in the villages and they take up residence there on a tree, or they would visit specific homes, specific people who they believe can play an important spiritual mission in life. Like the story with Raja Bhartrihari. He was actually devotee, became a student of Goraknath. I don't know if they lived the same era, or how he met Goraknath or what, but Goraknath is counted as an immortal yogi, where he's from another era than as for Bhartrihari, probably different eras. But Goraknath, they say, appears from time to time toward the disciple, and we know Niminath, one of Goraknath's disciples, initiate Nivritinath, which was Gyaneshwar's brother. So Bhartrihari, he wrote the famous book Vairaga Shatakam. Shatakam mean 100 verses, and Vairaga mean renunciation. Sometimes they use the word Tyagi. Tyagi is in the place of renunciation. person who sacrifice, give up, and you relinquish, and you know, they're called Tyagis. Also, Tyagi is a Brahmin class of people in India, you know. So, Bhartrihari wrote this book because of his love for his third wife. The king, his third wife was Pingala. And he got a fruit from Goraknath, which would make you young and youthful, make you preserve your health, your youth for a long time. And he took the fruit. He said, what would I need with youth? Let me give it to my third wife. So he gave it to Pingala. Now, Pingala was secretly having a romantic affair with the chief security officer. What they call him, Kotwal, the chief military officer. So she gave the fruit to Kotwal, and Kotwal actually didn't like her, Pingala, though she had favor for him. Kotwal took the fruit. He was in love with a prostitute, what they call a broad in America. So he took the fruit to the broad, and he gave it to her. And she didn't actually like him either, you know, but he was crazy. The chief minister, the Kotwal, was crazy after her. So then when Bhartrihari got to find out where the fruit ended up, he left his kingdom and left his palace with all the riches, and went into to become a monk, to renounce and so on. He wrote the famous book Vairaga Shatakam. There are other Shatakams like Atma Shatakam by Adi Shankara and another Shatakams. There are a couple of these forest books, 100. But this one is Vairaga Shatakam. It's very famous in the yoga parlance, the yoga world of yoga, and so, you know, Bhartrihari wrote that book. So there are many factors which push people to become monks. Some of them, they're born for that vocation. They leave at a very young age, like Swami Narayan, the guru, the founder of the Swami Narayan sect. You know, they left very young age and they went off by themselves to live with their guru, their teacher. Some of them are divine child. For example, they say that the president of North Korea, Kim Il-jung, he's a divine birth. The Koreans believe in that their leaders are divine birth, so they look up to them and respect them. So certain people are born, these monks are born, all they need is a touch, a Midas touch, like Pranavananda. When he's very young, the founder of the Bharti Sivashrang, when he was very young, he was indulging in religious exercises and practices, Shankaracharya also, and wanted to leave home to become a monk, but his mother stopped him. And when he went to bathe in the pond, an alligator grabbed his leg. And he told his monk before he died, he told his mother, who was standing at the bunk watching the alligator grabbing his foot, he said before he died, he asked his mother to give him the permission to become a sannyas. The mother said okay. When the mother gave the permission, the alligator loosed his leg, you know. And when he came out of the water, he became a monk. He didn't see back his mother until her death. When she died, he came back home. Actually, he belonged to the Nambudari sect of Brahmins in South India. They would cremate their dead in their own yard, at the back of the yard. So when he go there, he performed the funeral rites himself, and he raised his hand like this. He raised his hands up, and divine flame, they said, burst forth from the hands and cremate the mother body. Shankaracharya, he was a famous monk. He became a monk. You know, he told one, so great was his power, you know, he had great power. He was debating and defeating all the scholars and pundits and teachers around India. They say he was such a remarkable intellect and such a brilliant fellow with tejas and the power of ojas. They said he must be Lord Shiva himself, a reincarnation, just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He's a Shivite version of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Shankaracharya. In fact, he had a few good disciples. One of them One of them was at the other bank of a river, and he tested him. He said, come, call him to cross the water and come to him. And the disciple didn't hesitate. He started entering the water and walk. And as he put each step, a lotus burst out. So that's how devotion to the Guru, Guru happened. Incidentally, we have people like Guru Nanak and the Sikh lineage. They were family gurus. They lived with family, with wife, children. Guru Tegh Bahadur, Guru Gobind Singh, the Sikhs, They were Grhis. I don't know if Guru Nanak was initiated by any sannyas, because they say from youth he was born as a divine child. And he was doing his own devotions and so probably I don't know if any sannyasi had any part to play in that Sikh lineage, any monks there. But what I do know is that it's very difficult when you go on your own, especially if you're living in the worldly life and try to do sadhana. It's very difficult to reach liberation. Though you might become a very refined culture person, you may acquire great achievements in your vocation and in your personal life, but enlightenment, it's something very hard, It's something very hard to get. They say the journey from Savikalpa to Nirvikalpa is the Varanasi it's the river, the Varanasi river in the spiritual life. And it's a very short distance from Mukti to Moksha. Mukti is liberation, Moksha is salvation. So this is Savikalpa Samadhi and this is Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Nirbija, Nirvana. When you pierce this chakra, the Sahasrara chakra, that's a 1,000-petal lotus. But this one here is Savikalpa, and Savikalpa has many dimensions. We have the Salokya Samadhi, we have the Samipya, we have the Subija Samadhi, different types it has, Well, not all of them will give the same experience. One of the experiences are like if you feel you're present, you feel that God exists. Another one is that I exist and I'm just like him, and your different feelings you get, So the main thing about the Savikalpa stage, this Savikalpa Samadhi, is you get like Sahaj, you get a feeling of upliftment. Your body is more works more refined, more powerful, more healthy, feel more you become Udvarita, and you have more tune with your cosmic and life, Like in another mark, the saying Samadhi is not mostly a trance state, but unlocking of this personality, unlocking of the soul, unlocking of the spirit, the mind powers it unlock. So as you practice spirituality and meditation, you will find more of your complexes, more of your psychic disorders and psychic problems start to unlock, dissolve, disappear. So that's in another mark mostly what is Samadhi, and it's an experience that you won't notice. It's natural. So Ananda Murti, for example, he says that the householder, there is no difference between the householder and the sannyasis. That the householder, the family people, they are entitled to liberations just as the married people. That's his system and he bless it that way, so it will work for him that way, right? In his lineage, he said the family people and the married and the monks are the same, just that the monk dedicate themselves whole time, they give more of their time. And in another mark, the family, the monks, they can visit the married people and they stay in their homes, and so rather it's kind of like different from the traditional system, where the monks, they have to go out into the open, sleep on the road, They they depend more on God. They surrender, and they don't know. And while the married people, they have more protective and comfort, and so that's why they say married people fight from a fort, and the sannyasis, the monks, they fight in an open battlefield. So what do they fight against? They fight against the powers of nature, prakriti. They say nature can be a bad master but a good servant. Nature doesn't have intelligence. It doesn't have cosmic determinism. It doesn't have divine purpose. It's just the complement of Purusha, the mind, the consciousness. So the consciousness created the Prakriti so that God can enjoy his Leela, his sport. They say God was alone. So he created the universe so he could entertain himself. That's how Bhakti Yoga explained the creation of the universe. Bhakti, the devotional people, So whether the whole universe and the whole creation is a mystical affair or not, we don't know, right? Like the Zen experience in Buddhism is different. Sunyata, emptiness, they correspond to realization in a different way. But there are many paths and they all lead to the same end, the same eventuality, which is just consciousness, being in a super conscious state. So we're at this point here where the monks, they give initiation to householders. Householders, they are on the receiving spiritual end, and the monks, they get from the householder sustenance and support for living in the material world.